your new book, The Trump White House, Changing the Rules of the Game, you reveal that Kellyanne Conway is the #1 leaker. Have you heard from Kellyanne or her rep since the book was released?
She was asked about it by Fox and Friends when she was at the White House Easter egg roll, and she didn't actually deny it. She just said, I'm good friends with Jared and Ivanka because I said in the book that she said that they are leakers. Otherwise, she really didn't contradict it because it was all on tape. I interviewed her at the White House, and it was recorded, and she apparently forgot that she was on the record and started castigating other colleagues. She had these nasty things to say about Reince Priebus, and as well as Jared and Ivanka, and what she said about Reince was obviously untrue. I didn't include it in the book because I didn't think that would be fair to him. But she is the #1 leaker. Aides have told me that they've seen email or messages sent by text from her to reporters leaking information and also castigating her colleagues. The book also calls Jared and Ivanka the Teflon aides because they have been behind the most disastrous and most foolish decisions of the Trump presidency, namely firing Jim Comey as FBI director, leading to the appointment of Mueller as special counsel, and also hiring Anthony Scaramucci, which has to be the most foolish hire in the history of the White House. But Trump is aware of the problem. He has told them maybe they should go back to New York, hinted that he thinks they should go back, but they're the Teflon aides. They're not going to go anywhere because he is not about to fire a family member.
So she hasn't reached out to you directly or her team or reps or anything?
No, that's right.
No.
Yeah.
So many people have come and gone from working in the Trump administration. How much longer do you think Kellyanne Conway has before she is fired?
Well, Trump certainly did not know that she was a leaker until now, so let's see what he says. He's reading the book now, and I know that early on he took her off the air for several weeks when he thought she was screwing up, so he's not afraid to make her accountable. He likes to project this tough guy image. He puts a mask over his face and doesn't want a lot of these details out in the public. For example, that he gives out $100 tips to janitors and moving people for moving furniture. I had the only interview he says he has given or will give for a book as president, and I asked him about that and why he doesn't let his softer side out. And he said, well, who told you that? How do you know that? So even about that, he didn't want it out. So this is a very complex, perplexing guy, as we all know.
So how did you retain, I guess, that information that Trump gives out $100 tips frequently? Is this one of your sources, or?
Yeah, I was able to interview the top White House people, White House staff, who are actually in the Oval Office with him all day long. And so I picked up all these tidbits about what he is like, you know, what newspapers he reads, why he made decisions about Tillerson and Romney and Sessions in one direction or another. Bolton he didn't want initially because he thought it was too hawkish, but he doesn't have to agree with all his aides.
So if you could have any job in the Trump administration, which position do you feel you would be the best fit for?
I would like to be in the Oval Office all day long, giving him my wisdom, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Now, how long have you known Donald Trump, and what has been your interaction with him?
I first got to know Trump and Melania when I flew down with him to Palm Beach to stay at Mar-a-Lago for a weekend when I did a book on Palm Beach. It was called The Season Inside Palm Beach and America's Richest Society. And so I've known him ever since. On the way down, he imitated the nasal constricted tones of the Blue Blood Old Guard in Palm Beach, condemning his club, Mar-a-Lago, because it admits blacks and Jews. There are, to this day, several clubs in Palm Beach that will not admit blacks and Jews. And he said, I want to be loved, and I enjoy sticking it to them. And so that sort of sums up Trump. He wants to be loved, and he enjoys sticking it to anybody who gets in his way.
And what year was that?
That was 1998.
1998. So basically he was breaking the ground to accept minorities in the golfing community. Did I understand that right?
Yeah, he was accepting members at Mar-a-Lago, which, of course, we know is the Winter White House, regardless of color or religion.
Okay, Donald Trump's wife and family members seem very involved in his decision-making. Do you think that his family's input is helpful to Donald, or should they back off?
Well, Melania is especially powerful as an aide. She sits in on meetings. She comes up with strategy, and I quote Reince Priebus as saying that her judgment is impeccable, that she has wonderful political savvy. So there's no question she is a big plus. She will give articles to Trump regardless of whether they're negative or positive if she thinks that he will appreciate it and want to read the articles. She said to me at Mar-a-Lago, I've known them both for 2 decades, I read every one of your articles, so obviously her judgment is impeccable.
Now, there are a lot of allegations of Trump being racist against minorities. Do you agree with these allegations from what you observed?
No, all you have to do is, well, first of all, look at the fact that he dated Carrie Young for 2 years before Melania. She's black. One of the most trusted aides in the Trump organization has been Lynn Patton, who's an African American. He promotes blacks in Trump organization. Some of his comments, can be misinterpreted as racist.
A lot of people project that Melania and Donald do not have a happy marriage. From your interaction with them, do you think that Melania is an involved wife of the president, or is she an unhappy being titled the First Lady?
She is very happy. In fact, she is the one who got him to run in the first place. He was sort of pussyfooting around about running, dipping his toe in the water, and she said, you have to declare your candidacy, otherwise people aren't going to support you. They're not going to believe they're going to run. And sure enough, he did, and sure enough, he went up in the polls. This Michael Wolff novel, as they call it, is so obviously untrue, saying that she didn't want him to run, that he didn't want to run even though he was holding 3 rallies a day, that he looked like a ghost on election night and she was in tears. Well, all you had to do was look at TV. They were obviously ecstatic, just absurd claims. And when I have seen them together at Mar-a-Lago, they're just a wonderful, happy couple. They engage in very engaged conversations, discussions, and they laugh and they tease with each other. Obviously, she's not happy about the Stormy Daniels business, but that happened over 10 years ago. I think he's gotten older and wiser, and I think she realizes that as well. When you see them together, there's no question that marriage is going to last.
Donald Trump's son Eric and Donald Jr. are both having marital problems.
They're both very admired people. Trump brought them up to be careful about money, to actually work for minimum wage summers at his various construction sites. So I think they have very good values.
What celebrity have you enjoyed meeting the most?
Well, certainly Donald Trump. He is very engaging. He makes these outrageous comments on TV, but in private, real insiders know that he's thoughtful, he listens, he has a great sense of humor. We were at Mar-a-Lago, and I asked him how he liked being protected by the Secret Service. And he said, it's great. I'll have 20 agents all around me as I'm playing golf, and when I miss a shot, they don't see it. They're all looking in different directions.
Now, what celebrity have you enjoyed meeting the least?
Well, I know if I met Hillary, I would not like her because she treats her agents with disrespect and is known as the worst protectee. Being assigned to her detail is considered a form of punishment. But luckily, I haven't met her yet. Hello, this is Ronald Kessler, and you're listening to the Dominic Matty Show.